Hello everyone, I'm Cloud and welcome to Anime No Mi. In today's video we'll talk about the probabilities of Luffy becoming the 4th Yonko after Wano's arc and how he'll get that rank in the next chapters of the manga. Hope you can help us by leaving your like in the video to support the channel. I also hope you subscribe if you are still new here and leave your comments saying your opinion and what are the next videos you want to see here on the channel. Now let's go to the video. Guys, for those who don't know, the Yonko are the 4 most notorious and most powerful pirate captains in the world. They are neither allies nor strictly enemies of each other. Instead, the 4 prefer to remain in a momentary peace, but both have the same goal: to succeed in finding the One Piece and becoming king of the pirates. These 4 reside individually in the second half of the Grand Line, exerting impressive influence and control over dozens of other pirate crews and islands in their possession. With their enormous forces, they have become the greatest threat to the Sekai Sifu and the Navy, but as long as they don't move to attack, not even the celestial dragons dare challenge. Before the time skip, the strength of some of the Yonkos was demonstrated in the decisive Battle of Marineford. Edward Newgate, one of the Yonko, fought against several sailors and even admirals, managing to easily defeat them, and he did it even though he was badly wounded. Edward demonstrated great skill with his Abisento, a large blade embedded in haki, while using his Gura Gura no Mi with great mastery. But unfortunately, Edward Newgate met his end towards the climax of the battle. Teach and his crew awaited the moment when the former Yonko found himself weaker and more tired after the long battle, so they appeared by surprise and took his life, taking for himself his power and his position as Yonko. In the same battle, Shanks, another member of the group called the Yonkos, Emperors of the Sea, arrived at that confrontation, stopping Akainu's incredible and strong attack with just one sword with ease. We saw that he was still able to end the entire battle with just one warning, thus causing Teach, Navy, and Newgate's allied pirates to retreat. After the events of the Whole Cake Island, the World Economic newspaper referred to Luffy as the 5th emperor among the Yonko. This was thanks to the events of the arc and the interviews conducted with Cavendish and Bartolomeo, who informed journalists of the 5,000 members of the Straw Hat Great Fleet. At that time, Luffy didn't become a Yonko, he was just referred to as one, saying that in the near future he could probably become one, as he already had a large fleet at his side. Furthermore, we have seen that his and his companions have great strength, which could pose a threat to the entire Sekai Sifu, including the Navy. As an entity, the Yonko are one of the 3 great powers in One Piece, with the others being the sailors and the SSG. Previously, the Shichibukai were the 3rd power in place of the SSG, until the Sekai Sifu disbanded that group. The title of Yonko was born because thanks to their strength and influence, these 4 pirate captains literally live as if they were emperors of the sea, doing most of the time whatever they want. Individually, they are considered the most powerful pirates in the world, with devastatingly powerful and versatile abilities such as devil fruit powers, immense physical strength, endurance, and durability. Plus, all 4 original Yonko possessed full mastery of all 3 categories of haki. Their individual bounties have always been the highest in the world, the lowest being 2,247,000,000 and the highest being over 5 billion. The only known pirate who ever had a greater bounty than them was the king of pirates himself, being he the pirate with the most incredible feats, managing to fight on equal terms with the Yonko, possibly even being superior in power than them. Furthermore, 3 of the original 4 Yonko, Edward Newgate, Kaido, and Big Mom, were former members of the legendary Rocks Pirates, who were considered the strongest pirate crew in the world at the time. It took the Pirate King and Garp to ally to defeat your Captain Rocks. Edward was active on the seas during the Pirate King's voyage through the Grand Line, was said to be one of the few people who could rival the Pirate King, as well as the closest man to One Piece after the Pirate King's end of life. However, he had no intention of finding the treasure, as he valued his crew more than any treasure. Edward Newgate was, even over all years, still considered the strongest man in the world. He possessed an enormous amount of brute strength, was able to stop a battleship with just one hand, even after being severely weakened by his poor health and the damage of battle. Edward had an immeasurable stamina level. Before losing his life, he was hit by 267 cuts, 152 shots, 46 bombs, as well as attacks by Admirals Kizaru and Akainu. All this happened while his health was fragile. Despite all this, his body remained standing even after losing his life. Shanks remains on an equal footing with his fellow Yonko, despite still being young, but as we know, his real strength still remains unknown, but the little demonstrated by him shows that he is incredibly strong, being feared even by Big Mom. Shanks is so strong that his presence alone was enough to convince countless elite Navy officers to give up rather than risk infuriating him, and as I mentioned, he was also able to stop an extremely strong attack from Akainu, in which he managed to pierce even Ace with that attack. Continuing with the new Yonko, even before gaining devil fruit powers, Teach was an extremely powerful fighter. He was able to leave a scar on Shanks' face, and Shanks himself admitted it wasn't carelessness. This was presented demonstrating that Teach, even though he appears to be weak, is very intelligent, analyzing situations situations to attack his enemies at the right times. After taking Edward Newgate's life and taking his power for himself, he was able to use 2 devil fruits, causing his strength to increase even more, now becoming much more feared by the entire world. Teach has a pretty high resistance level. His Logia is unique because it doesn't allow him to become intangible. On the contrary, as we know that for some reason, any attack that hits him seems to hurt more than normal, but that never hindered Teach in his combats. After all, as long as he doesn't become intangible, he can nullify the devil fruit powers completely, making his enemies weak. Charlotte Linlin, known as Big Mom, she possesses an immense level of brute strength. She can destroy entire cities and sink huge battleships with her bare hands. Her body is nearly indestructible, but she still becomes the most vulnerable when she suffers a mental shock. When entering an emotional crisis, the raw power of her voice is capable of incapacitating extremely powerful fighters such as Katakuri and Smoothie. Her voice is also powerful enough to act as a barrier against bazooka fire, potentially stopping their trajectory. Already the leader of the Pirates of the Beast, throughout his life he was defeated only 7 times, either by sailors or other Yonko. However, all his attempts to execute him were unsuccessful. Kaido himself has already proved his impenetrable endurance by throwing himself from a high place, but as predicted, after the fall he lifted himself off the ground as if it were nothing. Kaido has enormous strength, stamina, and control over Haki, being able to knock out Luffy with ease, in addition to facing several enemies and defeating them without any serious injury. Kaido battled Luffy, Zoro, Kid, Law, and even the 9 Red Scabbards, and still remains in perfect condition, but he's just too tired in Wano's arc. Some of the Shichibukai have fought Yonkos in the past, like Shanks and Dracula Mihawk, often dueling when they were younger to see who would hold the title of best swordsman in the world. Gecko Moria fought Kaido when young, and obviously Kaido won the battle, and Crocodile fought Edward Newgate in battle at Marine Ford. All of the Yonkos seem to have strong fleets, including huge ships and elite crew. At some point they all traveled to the New World where they are unable to progress in the Grand Line. This is caused not by the combined efforts of the sailors and the Shichibukai, but mostly thanks to the presence of another Yonko. The particular reason for your inability to reach Laugh Tale is the fact that you need to have all 4 road poneglyphs to determine your location. One is in Kaido's possession, one is with Big Mom, one is located in Zou, guarded by the Mink tribe, and the last one is in an unknown location so far. Luffy, Kid, and Law are currently fighting Big Mom and Kaido in order to stop them, and consequently gain their posts. Throughout this battle, Luffy is getting closer and closer to the level of a Yonko, managing to increase his strength, stamina, and even improving his Haki. At the beginning of the confrontation, Luffy couldn't even damage Kaido and Big Mom. Now with recent chapters, Luffy is managing to fight on equal with Kaido, and with the Yonko being weakened due to physical exhaustion, victory seems possible. The same happens with Big Mom, which indicates that possibly in Wano one of the emperors could lose his post. After this conflict, if one of the Yonkos ends up leaving the sea, which is perhaps likely, Luffy will likely be the one who will finally manage to obtain this post. After all, he is already a great enemy and a threat to Sekai Sifu's plans. So even if Big Mom, if she ends up being defeated by Kid and Law, the post must be Luffy's. After all, he is already the pirate with the biggest bounty in the world after the Yonkos. Not only that, he has already been credited as the winner of a duel against Yonko, and now participated in another confrontation, not counting the fact that he is nicknamed the 5th Emperor. But what about you? Do you think Luffy will get Yonko's position, or Law and Kid can keep this position? Leave your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to leave your likes in the video to help the channel, and also subscribe if you're still new here. The channel is new and needs your help. Thank you so much for watching our video so far. Your support is very important. See you in the next video. Bye.